Y'all, did Chrissy Lampkin really just lay hands on Mama Jones at a private family event? Is this love and hip-hop? Or love and lawsuits? Because baby, this ain't your usual TV catfight, this is full-blown generational warfare. And the streets. Oh, they're on fire. Social media is shook. Jim Jones missing in action, and Mama Jones threatening legal action with a side of receipts hotter than the sun in July. But hold up, let's rewind. What started as a classy dinner turned into an unscripted slapfest that would make Zeus Network jealous. 1 second it's wine and vibes, the next it's wigs flying, security scrambling, and allegations of theft, betrayal, and emotional damage echoing louder than Jim's last mixtape. So what really went down? Did Chrissy finally snap after years of shade and disrespect? Did Mama Jones show up uninvited and come looking for smoke? Or is this all part of some wild plot twist involving missing money, jealousy, and a leaked video that might just break the entire internet? You already know, we dug deep, so grab your popcorn, silence your phone, and buckle up because this ain't just drama. This is destruction. Let's get into it. So boom, it all started at what was supposed to be a peaceful, private, upscale family gathering, and when I say upscale, I mean upscale. Think candlelit dinner, long silk tablecloths, wine glasses so big you could swim in them, and enough lobster tails to make the ocean nervous. This was Jim Jones and Chrissy trying to play grown folks for the evening in a rented-out, hidden venue somewhere in the Jersey countryside. No cameras, no producers. Just close family and hand-picked guests, and everything was going fine until one major detail blew the whole night up. Mama Jones was not invited. Now pause, because you're probably wondering how the queen of the family, the same woman who raised Jim Jones, could be left off the list. Well, let's just say Jim knew what he was doing. Sources say he was planning to invite her last minute to keep things smooth, but someone leaked the location, and baby, when I tell you Mama Jones showed up unannounced. She didn't just walk in, she arrived. She pulled up with her heels clicking so hard you'd think she was preparing for battle, bust through the double doors like she was about to host the BET Awards, and before anyone could say anything she was already yelling, "So this what we doing now, throwing family parties and not inviting the family?" Chrissy, who had been swirling her wine like a Bond villain, looked over, rolled her eyes and smirked, and that's when the temperature dropped to Antarctic levels. Witnesses say Chrissy calmly replied, "Ain't nobody erasing you, but we just wanted a drama-free night." And those 8 words were enough to detonate the whole room. Mama Jones snapped, "The hell, you mean drama-free? Am I the drama now? You better check yourself before I do it for you." And at that point it was clear this wasn't going to end in hugs and apologies. Jim, looking like he wanted to crawl under a table, tried to step in, but he was already too late. Mama Jones marched over, finger-pointing, neck rolling, and Chrissy was not backing down. She stood her ground like a woman who had been waiting to say this for 15 years. "You always got something to say about me, but you ain't ever looked in the mirror. You act like you perfect when really you're just bitter that your son loves me and not you." The gasp that echoed in that room could have powered the entire city of Newark. Witnesses say Mama Jones went red face, trembling eyes locked on Chrissy, and then the unthinkable happened. Some say Chrissy slapped Mama Jones first, others swear Mama swung, and Chrissy simply reacted, but regardless, somebody's hand made contact, and the sound of that slap was described as louder than Jim's last hit. The entire room froze. Jim leaped forward, knocking over 2 wine glasses and yelling, "Yo, chill, chill." Security tried to break it up, but it was too late. Mama Jones was screaming about assault, talking about, I'm pressing charges," and Chrissy, meanwhile, just fixed her hair, picked up her wine, and took a sip like nothing happened. And y'all, it only got messier from there, because guess what? Someone recorded the whole thing. That's right, a guest who shall remain unnamed, because they're probably already in hiding, had the entire confrontation on video, and according to insiders, that footage is currently being shopped around to every gossip blog and media outlet known to man. TMZ, The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked. Everybody wants that clip, because let's be real, we're talking about a physical altercation between Chrissy Lampkin and Mama Jones at an elite family function. This isn't just drama, this is a once-in-a-decade meltdown. Now, while Jim tried to do damage control, Chrissy stormed out with her wine glass still in hand, heels clicking and chin up like she had just walked off a runway, and Mama Jones was left standing in the middle of the venue yelling about betrayal, yelling about fake women, yelling about snakes in her garden, and then out of nowhere she dropped the biggest bomb of the night, yelling, "Y'all think I'm crazy? Nah, I'm the only one who's been telling the truth. Chrissy been stealing from my son for years." And that right there sent the whole room into orbit, because this was no longer Just about a slap, this was turning into a full-blown financial scandal. Mama Jones claimed Chrissy had been secretly draining Jim's bank accounts using his credit cards and even hiding property in her name, and let me tell you, the reactions were immediate. Some people gasped, some people looked straight at Jim, and Jim, he just stood there frozen like someone had unplugged his brain. Now listen, this ain't the first time someone's accused Chrissy of being a gold digger. People have whispered about it for years, but Mama Jones, she was now on a warpath and ready to spill all the so-called receipts. She claimed to have screenshots, bank statements, highlighted transactions, and even audio messages of Chrissy allegedly talking about moving money behind Jim's back. And baby, by the next morning, Mama Jones was live on Instagram, waving papers at the screen, yelling into the camera, "Y'all better listen to me. I got proof. Chrissy ain't no ride or die. She's a user, and she's been playing my son like a fiddle." And why? All the internet went nuclear. Half of social media was screaming, "Damn, Mama Jones been right all along," and the other half was like, "Hold up, this woman been hating on Chrissy since 2009, this could just be revenge." But the timing though, y'all. The timing is suspicious, because just 2 weeks earlier, Jim himself went on a podcast and admitted that money been tight lately. He literally said on air, "I'm not making what I used to, and I gotta be smarter with my spending." So now all of a sudden, Mama Jones is saying Chrissy's the reason the money's drying up, and just like that, the internet was divided. You had Team Mama Jones and Team Chrissy. Memes were flying. TikTok was flooded with reenactments and messy commentary, and Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, was trending with hashtags like hashtag Chrissy vs Mama Jones and hashtag protect Jim at all costs. Meanwhile, Chrissy was nowhere to be found. No tweets, no stories, no lives. She went completely silent, and in times like this, silence is loud. People started speculating, maybe she's guilty, maybe she's lawyered up, maybe she just doesn't care. But the pressure kept building, all eyes were on her, and then late that night, boom, she popped up on Instagram live, and she looked unbothered as ever, sipping wine with her nails freshly done and eyes sharp as daggers. And the first thing she said was, "Mama Jones been hating on me since 2009. This ain't new." Then she laughed, took another sip, and said, "Y'all really think I'm out here stealing from Jim? If I wanted money, I'd have married him by now." And y'all, the internet went crazy again. Some people were clapping, saying she cleared. Others were like, "Nah, sis didn't deny it, she just deflected." And then she dropped another bomb. She said, "Funny how she accusing me of taking money when she's the one always asking Jim for handouts, rent bills, cash loans." Y'all not ready for that conversation. And listen, Chrissy hit below the belt, because it's no secret Jim has helped his mama financially for years. He's talked about it before in interviews, saying he's bailed her out more than once, and now Chrissy was putting that on blast, like, "Your mama's just mad because the money stopped flowing her way, not mine." And who? The comments exploded. People were now dissecting every word, every clip, every old interview, trying to figure out who was telling the truth and who was playing victim. And meanwhile, Jim still hadn't said a word. Not a post, not a tweet, not even a passive-aggressive IG story. And that silence, oh, it was deafening. Oh, it was deafening. And just when everyone thought Jim was going to keep playing the silent peacemaker card, boom, he finally jumped into the chaos. And let me tell you, his entrance was not what people expected. He went live looking like he hadn't slept in 3 days, hoodie on, bags under his eyes, rubbing his forehead like he was about to deliver a presidential address. And when he started talking, it was clear he had enough of the internet dragging his name through the mud. He said, "Look, man, I love my mother. I love Chrissy. This ain't nothing new. They've been beefing since the early 2000s, and they've probably gone keep beefing till the end of time. But y'all need to stop acting like I don't know what's going on in my own house." And boom, just like that, the audience leaned in, because it sounded like he was about to drop some truth. And baby, did he ever. He looked dead into the camera and said, "At the end of the day, this is about money, and the craziest part is both of them done took money from me before the internet damn near passed out." Did Jim Jones just admit that both Chrissy and Mama Jones were out here running up tabs on his dime? Because if so, that's a plot twist nobody saw coming. The comments went into overdrive. People were like, wait, so Mama Jones wasn't lying? Or wait, is Jim just tired of everyone and airing everybody out? Like, what is happening? And Jim, he just kept going like a man who had been bottling it up for way too long. He said, "My mom always needed help. And yeah, I've been taking care of her for years. She's my mother, that's what I do. But don't act like she ain't ever had her hand out, like I ain't bailed her out more times than I can count." And then he turned around and addressed Chrissy. He said, "Chrissy ain't steal from me, man. I done given her money, yeah, but it's because she been holding me down too, and I ain't got no problem making sure she good. Stop acting like she out here robbing me blind. Come on, man, and woo that right." There was enough to make everyone shut up for a second because Jim basically admitted that both women depend on him financially. And he's tired of it, but the thing is, he didn't exactly clear Chrissy's name either. He just said she didn't steal, he didn't say she didn't benefit, he didn't say she didn't move a few coins around behind his back, and now everyone was side-eyeing everybody. Because it was giving messy, it was giving drama, it was giving generational financial warfare. And then Jim ended his live with the coldest line of the night. He said, "Man, I ain't got time for this. I got bigger things to worry about than family drama. I'm out." And then boom, screen went black. No follow-up, no details, no real defense, just chaos and confusion. And you already know the moment he logged off, Mama Jones jumped right back into the mix like she was waiting in the shadows. She went live and said y'all heard him, he admitted it, she'd been living off him for years, I've been telling y'all, but y'all called me bitter, and this time people were really starting to listen because technically she wasn't lying. Jim did say what he said, and just like that the sympathy started swinging back in her favor, like wait, maybe she's not just loud and dramatic, maybe she's been speaking facts this whole time. And Chrissy, oh Chrissy, was done playing cute. She hopped on her IG stories and posted a black screen with white text that said y'all believe anything an old, bitter woman says keep my name out your mouth, and then she followed it up with a clip of her dancing in the mirror with a stack of cash and the caption read broke where? And baby, that was the final straw because now it was petty war at its finest. Mama Jones came back screaming into her phone, bitter girl, you've been living off my son for 15 years, how about you get a job for once in your life? And now we've officially crossed into the battlefield of no return because at this point, it ain't even about the money, it's about pride, it's about ego, it's about legacy, and the internet is eating it up. Like Sunday dinner, the blogs are running wild, the think pieces are rolling in Twitter. Threads are connecting dots back to 2010, when Chrissy first proposed to Jim on national TV, and people are like wow, this woman literally got on one knee for a man who still hasn't married her and is now being accused of draining his accounts. And y'all remember when Mama Jones dropped that diss track psychotic B-word? Yeah, that's suddenly resurfacing to people are calling it prophetic talking about she been warning us in song form for over a decade, and it's all happening so fast. Chrissy fans are clapping back with old clips of her defending Jim, cooking for him, standing by him through label drama, family fights and legal troubles, and they're saying if she's a gold digger, she's the most loyal one in history. But then others are saying nah, loyalty don't mean much when you got control of the bank account and your man don't even know what properties are in whose name, and y'all wanna talk about suspicious because now anonymous sources are crawling out the woodwork claiming Chrissy's been making big money moves behind Jim's back, allegedly flipping properties using his credit and not always telling him the full story. And one insider, who claims to be a former assistant, says Chrissy had more access to Jim's personal accounts than his actual accountant had, and that she used to transfer small amounts here and there, and when added up it came to 6 figures. Now is that real? Is that fake? Who knows? But the tea is piping hot, and the comments don't care. They want blood and receipts and justice, or at least a messy reunion special. And let's not even talk about the rumored footage, because yes, there is allegedly still a video of the slap, the one recorded at the dinner, that's being quietly shopped around, and now multiple outlets are fighting to get the rights to it. One insider says it shows everything from the moment Mama Jones walks into the glass of wine Chrissy sets down before allegedly slapping the soul out of Jim's mama's mouth. And if that footage leaks, it's going to be bigger than the Solange elevator video. People are calling it the Love and Hip Hop Avengers finale, and they're not wrong. And the pressure on Jim is building because now sponsors are watching, brand deals are at stake, and PR teams are working overtime trying to clean up a mess that just keeps spreading, and the fans, they're turning into detectives breaking down Chrissy's outfits from that night, zooming in to see if the earrings match the ones from the video screenshot that's supposedly floating around in group chats. And at this point, Chrissy and Mama Jones are fully engaged in social media warfare, with subliminals, memes, and cryptic shade being thrown at every angle. And Jim, well, he's disappeared again. No posts, no lives, just complete radio silence. And you know what that means. The man is probably in the middle of the mess, trying to keep the peace, but realizing that this time there might be no coming back from it, because this family feud just exposed everything: the money, the tension, the loyalty, and the secrets. And if someone doesn't step up soon, the next chapter might be even uglier than the last. And just when it seemed like this circus couldn't spiral any further into madness, boom, out comes the twist nobody saw coming. Someone claiming to be an insider close to both Chrissy and Mama Jones leaked a voice recording, and baby, when I tell It sounded like it came straight from the confessional booth of a reality show gone rogue. It was grainy. It was raw and it was messy in the recording. You could allegedly hear a female voice that sounds an awful lot like Chrissy talking about how she had to move money out of certain accounts before Jim blew it on another flop project. The voice says, and I quote, "If you don't let me manage it, we gonna end up broke because he spends like he's still 25 and living off mixed." And y'all, the internet lost its collective mind because now everyone was like, wait, is this confirmation? Is this the smoking gun? And as usual, Chrissy stayed radio silent for hours, refusing to acknowledge the audio while Mama Jones went live, again screaming, "See, I told y'all, she been controlling the money from day when y'all called me crazy, but who looks crazy now?" And just when people started shifting back into Mama Jones' camp, Chrissy dropped a bomb of her own. She posted an old clip from years ago, showing Mama Jones yelling at Jim in public about how he never gives her enough money, and how Chrissy had better stop acting like she owns the house they all stay in, and in the caption, Chrissy wrote, "You mad at me for doing what you taught me now?" That right there had the entire comment section gasping because it flipped the entire conversation again. Now people were arguing over who taught who how to manipulate money and whether Mama Jones had basically built the same monster she now claims to hate. And let's not even get into the alleged text messages floating around from one of Jim's cousins who was apparently at the dinner that night and saw the whole slap go down. He allegedly texted a friend saying Chrissy slapped her first, but only after Mama Jones called her a street rat who lucked up into a come-up, and that Chrissy had had enough after holding her tongue for over a decade now. If that's true, then this wasn't just a moment of violence, it was years of tension finally snapping like a rubber band stretched too tight. And the cousin also claimed that Jim had to be physically restrained because he was so torn between the two women he didn't know who to defend first. And baby, that right there, that mental image of Jim being pulled in two directions while his mama and his woman tried to destroy each other in front of a room full of family, that's Shakespearean levels of tragedy and drama. But the wildest part was still to come because a leaked email started circulating from a major streaming platform reportedly offering Mama Jones and Chrissy a joint sit-down interview with a six-figure payout to tell their sides of the story. And y'all, that was the moment everyone realized this mess had gone commercial. This wasn't just family drama anymore. This was content. This was a potential docuseries waiting to happen. People started calling it the next Red Table Talk, the unfiltered version, the family war special that could break every viewership record if they ever agree to it. And while Chrissy hasn't responded publicly to the offer, Mama Jones already told her followers on IG, "I'm ready, I got nothing to hide, bring the cameras, because I got stories for days, and you already know." She's not lying. She's the same woman who dropped a diss track about her son's girlfriend and called it empowerment. So you know, if a camera crew shows up, she's pulling out receipts from 15 years ago and flipping through them like a scrapbook of war. Meanwhile, Jim is still silent, completely missing in action, and the speculation is out of control. Some people say he flew out to Miami to escape the chaos. Others claim he's locked in the studio trying to focus on music and pretending none of this is happening. And then there are those who believe he's working with lawyers behind the scenes because apparently rumors have started that Chrissy may have signed certain documents in Jim's name, allegedly without full permission. And if that turns out to be true, we're not just talking about scandal, we're talking about possible fraud charges. Now again, none of that is confirmed, but the streets are talking, and when the streets talk, the blogs listen, and the fans are deep in conspiracy mode. People are pulling out old interviews, past tweets, analyzing body language from old Love and Hip Hop episodes, and trying to determine when exactly the shift in power happened between Chrissy and Mama Jones. And every time someone thinks they got it figured out, another bombshell drops. Someone even posted a clip of Jim in a past interview where he said, "Sometimes you just gotta let the women in your life fight it out." And that quote aged like expired milk because baby, the women in his life aren't just fighting it out, they're burning the whole house down and inviting the neighbors to watch. And somewhere in all this mess, Chrissy posted a picture of herself sitting in a luxury spa, captioned "Peace is expensive," and the comment section exploded. Half the people were like Queen unbothered vibes, and the other half were like, "You mean paid for with Jim's money?" And that's when Mama Jones dropped her final blow for the week. She posted a picture of a handwritten note, allegedly from Jim, thanking her for always supporting him and calling her the real MVP. And in the caption, she wrote, "Even when he don't say it on camera, I know where his heart is." And baby, now the fans are like, does that mean Jim is secretly siding with Mama Jones and Chrissy doesn't know, or was that note from 10 years ago and just being recycled for clout? And the theories are growing wilder by the minute. Some are saying this is all a setup for a new reality show. Others think it's a family plan to get attention back on Jim's brand, but most people believe this is just raw, real generational tension exploding in the public eye, and now we're all just watching the slow-motion car crash, trying to figure out who's still behind the wheel and who already jumped out. And let's not pretend this is going away anytime soon, because as long as Mama Jones has Wi-Fi and Chrissy got wine, this feud is going to keep feeding the internet, and at this point the only one who can settle it is Jim, and he's nowhere to be found, so now everyone's left picking sides, arguing in comment sections, and waiting to see which bomb drops next. And the wildest part of it all is that deep down we know this won't end with a hug. It's too far gone, too messy, too public, too personal, and this family drama that started with a slap just turned into an out war with receipts, secrets, money, and pride, all tangled together in a knot nobody's going to untangle anytime soon. Hoo-hoo, if your jaw's still on the floor, trust me, you're not the only one. This Chrissy and Mama Jones drama just served more twists than a whole season of reality TV in one night. From slaps to bank statements to leaked audio and cryptic posts, we've seen it all but this family feud. Oh, it's just getting started. So the real question is, who do you believe? Is Mama Jones just a bitter, overprotective mama holding a decade-long grudge? Or is Chrissy really out here finessing the bag with a side of manipulation? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, Team Chrissy or Team Mama Jones. Don't hold back, because this mess is too wild to stay silent. And listen, if you think we're done, you clearly don't know this family. The next chapter is already brewing, and you know we'll be right here breaking every detail down the moment it drops. So hit that like button if your edges are snatched. Smash subscribe if you want more unfiltered drama, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a scandal. This is the internet's favorite drama channel, and baby, we don't sleep when the tea's this hot. Stay tuned, stay tuned.